And we're rolling, so watch that mouth. No. Hi, everyone. It's Hector from Cochise County Voice. Today we're here with a candidate that's visiting Sierra Vista and Cochise County, so let's hear all about it.
Well, thank you, Hector, for the opportunity. My name is JoAnna Mendoza, retired Marine who is running for Arizona's 6th Congressional District.
Okay, so everybody knows the 6th here is Juan Ciscomani's district. And so you are going to be challenging, basically someone that's been already working in Cochise County for, a couple of terms. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But the margin of his wins has been fairly narrow, to say. So there's always a good chance, and I know that you've got good momentum going. So Cochise County doesn't really amount for a huge number of the voting block that it gets the 6th elected. But we have some unique needs out here. I talked to you a little bit earlier. You talked a little bit about the makeup of the county, how it's rural, and we have some challenges here. Challenges of keeping economic growth going, and also
water,
protecting our environment, and that's a balance. So tell me a little bit about what issues you see that you are going to tackle here specifically for the county. I know that some things, of course, cover everyone, but tell me a little bit about it. And two things I want to hear about from you. One is big changes in healthcare for county residents. People sometimes don't realize how dependent we are on that help from the government. And then also that balance between bringing industry to for jobs and for growth, but also protecting the environment, our resources.
Okay, a couple of things that I want to address. First and foremost, Juan Ciscomani was elected to represent this district, but he has not been working. When the government has shut down, people really need to look. It is a 1-year anniversary since this administration came into power, and Juan supposedly renewed his commitment to this district, and he has not done anything. ACA subsidies, which you talked about, people are aware of the budget and pocketbook issues. They can't afford to pay rent, and half the time they're 1 or 2 paychecks away from being evicted. And so this is one of the reasons I'm running. I am a working class mom who was born and raised in the district. I served my country for 20 years, 2 tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. I was a drill instructor, Hector. I'm not gonna yell at anybody here. I'm gonna wait to Congress. But what I'm trying to get at is that I am like you. I am the community. And I'm here today in Sierra Vista because a lot of the issues that Sierra Vista as a rural community is struggling with are a lot of the issues that those of us who live in rural communities are also struggling with. Of course, cost of living. Usually there's a lack of health care and specialized health care. So, for women who are pregnant, for children, those are the things that impact our rural communities across this state, and I would even say across this nation. And so I'm here over the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday because, I want to be in solidarity with the people here and what he fought for. He called for the American dream, which we've heard Ciscomani say multiple times, and that's not possible for a lot of us. Some of us will never be able to own a home. Some of us will have to work well into our 70s and maybe even 80s. But all that to say is that rural communities matter to me because I am from a rural community, and I had a great opportunity to talk to a lot of the locals about the issues that concern them.
Okay, so a couple of things then. So you're basically saying that you're on the opposite of what Ciscomani has done on healthcare. You would have absolutely supported the extension?
Absolutely, 100%. There's no question about it. In a time during the winter when people are struggling to make ends meet, this administration and Juan Ciscomani's silence has put so many people at risk. And this is a matter of life and death, especially for folks who live in rural communities who often have less resources than everybody else. And I am the opposite, because what Juan Ciscomani has done is that he has made promises, he's written letters, he has told our district that he's going to stand up for us, and then when push comes to shove, he bends to his party bosses.
So let me ask you, is the district better since Ciscomani has taken office?
No, but don't ask me. Ask your neighbors. Ask the community. Today marks 1 year, as I said. Ask yourself, are you better off today than you were 1 year ago? We had a mass firing of veterans because of Doge, which Juan Ciscomani supported. We had SNAP benefits, food stamps, WIC, Section 8 housing. Those programs are going away. Why? Because Juan Ciscomani voted for the One Big Beautiful Bill. We've had a government shutdown. We're on the verge of potentially sending our sons and daughters to another war in the Middle East, and parents do not want to see their children come back in a flag-draped coffin. They don't. They don't.
And those are national issues that obviously that's you represent us in those. But like as you say, some of the things that we feel are things like the economy right now. So we're having a struggle here, especially we have to decide whether to allow large industry to come in, deplete some of our resources in exchange for promised jobs and a little bit of prosperity for the county. Is that exchange fair, or what can you do in your position to help us balance that out?
Yeah, it's not fair. I mean, no small town or community should be dependent on a corporation. What I'd like to do is encourage more small business ownership, especially in communities like the one in Sierra Vista, where you know pretty much everybody. You start up your own business, you're able to provide for your family, and you're able to serve the community. I mean, isn't that what we used to be as Arizonans? Weren't we, focused on growing our communities and taking care of each other? You know this thing that really surprises me is that here in the desert, we still are able to produce crops. We're still able to grow things in one of the most resilient places probably in the world. And that's beautiful. And the people who live here are strong. If they had the resources, they could do better. That's what I want for our families. I just want everyone to do better than what we're doing right now.
Okay, so lastly, immigration. Always been a topic. Of course, we are a state, we're a border state, but now a national lens on immigration enforcement. Not only that, but funds going towards those goals as opposed to coming to our rescue locally. Tell me a little bit about the difference between you and Ciscomani on border issues, if there are any, and tell me the state of things that, right now.
Thanks for that question, Hector, because I know that safety and safe communities are a priority for moms, dads, for our families, right? I believe in living in a community where you don't have to fear that you're going to get dragged out of the street into a van by an unmarked individual who is supposed to be federal law enforcement. Immigration will continue to be an issue for a really long time in this state. So we have to do a couple of things. First and foremost, we need to repair our relationship with Mexico. They are one of our oldest trading partners. And right now, because of this administration and because Ciscomani has not stood up to his party bosses, we have a horrible relationship with Mexico. And who suffers for it? Who suffers for the economic situation? Families, you and I, we suffer because of the decisions they make and because of the lack of pushback that Ciscomani is not willing to give. So we need to ensure, first and foremost, diplomacy. Secondly, what we're seeing across the nation right now is a federal law enforcement agency that is lawless. The ICE agents are only trained for 47 days. Marine Corps boot camp is longer than that. And that just barely gives the Marine a basic foundation. I know because I was a drill instructor. And right now, 47 days is not enough, especially when they're handling weapons and they're shooting American citizens in the face. But that's not the first time that the shootings have happened, Hector. It's a pattern.
And so, tell me about a little bit of the impact. The expectation was that that clamping down on undocumented immigrants was going to somehow result in a return of jobs, but it's had actually the opposite impact. It's disrupted business. It's disrupted commerce. You hear stories about states where where there are labor shortages, or
right here.
Even
right here,
even in our state. So tell me then, what is the next step? What do you feel is a resolution or any change that you would try to, instill in the current current conditions?
We need border security, and I believe
Absolutely.
in national
Sure.
security. I served our country for 20 years, deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been willing to give my life in service for this country. What is happening right now with this, the federal government's policy, immigration policy, is impacting our economies. We have a huge agricultural industry here in Arizona, and farmers and ranchers are losing the migrant labor that they rely on. And they need it because no one else is going to fill those jobs. And we know that when people are here, they not only work here, they spend here, and that helps the Arizona economy. And so, first and foremost, what we need to address is we need a stand down for ICE and all ICE operations right now, because an internal independent investigation needs to, or an external independent investigation needs to happen. Additionally, we need to look at how these agents are being trained. We want to make sure that the people who are responsible for protecting the American people are competent and have integrity. So anyways, all that to say is that everything is tied together. The economy is tied to healthcare, it's tied to obviously jobs, it's tied to childcare and being able to afford food. And those are all things that would improve the quality of life for Arizona 6th Congressional District constituents. And that's what I'm fighting for. So,
Well, I appreciate it. Again, this wasn't an interview to challenge you or anything.
Yeah.
I understand.
I love a spirited debate.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, thank you very much for that information. Well, anywhere else in Cochise County that you're going to be stopping? Or
We will eventually, but today we've been here for a couple of days, and we've had some great meetings, but we'll be back quite frequently.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so
And
much for the
best
opportunity.
Best of fortunes.
Thank
And I
you.
invite Mr. Siscomani, the representative, to come on board and talk to us just in this format. And
Yeah.
then let's see what he has to say.
My bet is